Hi guys, today we are covering this a little bit louder. 1.4.5, which is matrices. Okay, so a matrices is a rectangular array, which is like a picture of data in rows and columns. And this is definitely something you will see on your IC test, guys. Okay. An element, that is the individual numbers in the matrix. Matrix is the single, the only one. Matrices is plural. Rows and columns. A row is the horizontal elements. That's going from left to right. The column I lost my screen. The columns are the vertical elements. And those, of course, are going top to bottom. And last are the dimensions. When it talks about dimensions, that's referring to when it identifies the matrix, by the number of rows and columns with rows stated first. For instance, 2 by 3. The 2 is the rows, the 3 is the columns. Okay, now let's talk about how do we create one from a table of values that's given to us. Okay, remember you can pause at any time and then catch up. Okay, so for number 1, create a matrix to organize the data. Well, we're talking about Sue and Eva, and they've got answer choices to their science quiz. So we have A, B, C as my answer choices. So I'm going to have Sue, and it's not Ava, it's Eva. It's erasable. We do a big bracket, and then I have answer choices A, B, C. So Sue's, how many A's does she have? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many B's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many C's? 1, 2, 3. And now I'm looking at Eva. How many A's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many B's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how many C's? 1. There's my matrix. Now, give the dimensions. That's where we're going to state this is 2 rows. This is a row by 3 columns. So this is a row. This is a column. Next, we want to identify an element. So an element is labeled by, you have X, that's the variable, which one you're looking for. Okay. And then it tells me, or X is like saying look for element. And then this is where the location comes in. A, comma, B is used to identify a specific element, where A is the row and B is the column. So if I look at number 3, it says element X 1, comma 2. So I'm referring to this matrix over here. So I'm looking for row 1. Row 1. So this is row 1, 2, 3. And this is column 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm looking for row 1, column 2. There's my number. Next, we're looking at number 7. So the element I'm looking for is -5. I'm looking for its location. So I'm looking for -5. There's -5. So where is it located? It's located in row 3, column 4. So it's X sub 3, comma 4. What are the dimensions of this matrix? Well, it is 3 rows. So it's 3 by 4 columns. So it's 3 by 4. Okay, next page. If you want to take a little break at this point, pause and then restart. Because now we're going to talk about calculations with matrices. That was the setup. Okay, so the matrices must have the same dimensions. If it doesn't, then you cannot add or subtract them or do any operations with them, really. Okay, so in order to add or, oh, it's just add or subtract them. That is correct. So it's only for adding or subtracting. They have to have the same dimensions. Okay, so we're going to use these matrices that are provided to us. So we're going to look at number 12. We're adding B plus D. So that means I'm adding this one with this one. So I look at each element. So for my work, I'm going to have -12 minus 14. Then I'm going to have -5. Oh, I'm adding. So this is -12 plus -14. And then I have -5 plus 1. And then I have 16 plus 10. And then we have 9 plus 0, -1 plus -5, 2 plus 9. This is the work. Now we get to our final answer. And our answer is negative. So we follow our integer rules. So we have -26, -12 plus -14, -5 plus 1 is -4, 16 plus 10 is 26. Then we have 9 plus 0 is 9, -1, so that's -6. 2 plus 9 is 11. So this matrix right here, make sure we can see that, is my answer. Because that is after we have simplified. Okay. 14. That is C plus B. Well, wait a minute. They don't look the same. They're not set up the same. These do not have the same dimensions. So therefore, my answer here is no solution, and that is because C is 2 by 3 and B is a 3 by 2. So they don't have any, so it's no corresponding elements. Oh, I forgot to fill something in up here. My brain was thinking, but I jumped ahead. To simplify, you add or subtract the corresponding elements. Corresponding elements. So if you were a little confused about that, sorry. And these are the corresponding elements. So negative 12 went with negative 14. 9 went with 0. Sorry for that little bit of confusion. Here we go, moving right along. Scalar multiplication. That's the fancy word for multiplying matrices and adding to it. So a matrix can be multiplied by what's called a scalar, which is any real number, okay, by multiplying the scalar to each element. So pretty much that means you distribute it to each element. So that's the same thing as distribute. All right, so if I'm looking at number 18, we're going to kind of multitask here. My first step is the scalar part. Okay, we're still using these matrices up here to think about. So I'm doing 3D. So that means I'm multiplying every element of D times 3. Okay, you'll be able to see everything. So we're just going to have to go with it. Okay, so I'm doing 3 times negative 14, 3 times 0, 3 times 1, 3 times 10, 3 times negative 5, 3 times 9. So this is for calculating 3D. That's my work for that. So that 3D equals negative 42, 3, 30, 0, negative 15, 27. So that took care of the 3D part, but we're not done because we still have to worry about B. So therefore I have to add B. Well, B is negative 12, negative 5, 16, and 9, negative 1, 2. Okay, so that means my work for this one is going to be negative 42 plus negative 12, 3 plus negative 12, 30 plus, not negative 12 there, that's a negative 5. You gotta pay attention to doing the corresponding elements. 3 plus negative 5. 30 plus 16. This is exactly why I write this down, because you can easily look off and look somewhere else. 0 plus 9, negative 15 plus negative 1, 27 plus 2. So this is the matrix of work for this problem. And now we get what our answer is. So we have to add, and we get negative 54, negative 2, 46, 9, negative 16, 29. This is the final answer for this problem. Remember, Pause, repeat as much as is necessary so you can understand. Thank you. Have a great day.